Alright guys, listen up. I've been pumping up DAC reviews for a very long time. And with every such review I've got a little bit wiser, a bit grayer as you can see, but I'm happy that I made you making better purchase decisions. I personally don't play the favorites game. For me, race, color, origin of the unit doesn't really matter. For me, what matters the most is the sound performance and a price point that makes sense to me. Overall, I really like the sound of my Rockna Wave Dream Signature and Core Dave DAC, but man, they sting the wallet pretty hard, and I don't want to recommend, super high-end stuff. I don't want to be a snob. I want to recommend you things that not only rock stars can afford. And I believe that today is that kind of day. This is the LAiV Harmony DAC that is fitting in this niche like a glove. And what's cooler than its $2,700 price tag, you ask? Free shipping and all those pesky taxes included, including VAT and custom taxes, and I don't know anybody that offers you such services for free. Remember the Gustard R26 that shook the market by offering true high-fidelity sound at an affordable price? Well, I believe this one, the Harmony DAC, is slightly better at almost every aspect, and I don't know what new stuff is going to be revealed this year at the Munich High-End Show and later at the Warsaw Audio Video Show, but if nothing cool comes around, this one has a chance of winning my DAC of the Year award from the DAC man itself, and let me tell you why. Design-wise, it has a very serious Mac vibe. It's just a little bit chunkier, it has rounded edges, smooth lines, and this CNC machined massive knob, this one basically begs to be mistaken for a volume wheel. But no, this one is a pure DAC, nothing else, and if you crave for some preamp capabilities, then mark your calendars, because later this year their HP2A headphone amplifier / preamplifier will be coming. But for now, this is your trusty menu navigator. Want it in classic black or elegant silver? The choice is yours. I've got this one in silver, so it could better match with the rest of my electronics. We have a massive 3.83-inch monochrome OLED screen that is dominating the front panel, displaying all the vital information. The lettering is so big that I could read it from my comfy armchair across the room, and underneath it, 3 robust spikes provide a rock-solid stability. And those carved spaces on top, those are basically your VIP parking spots for the upcoming HP2A headphone amplifier / preamplifier for a really nice family reunion. Its compact footprint saves a lot of desktop space, but its 4.3 kilo body weight is a constant reminder that we're not dealing with an entry-level unit, but with a serious piece of machinery. And let's not forget the remote control. Just look how beautiful it looks. Of course, it's fully CNC machined, it's solid, it's weighty, and it's visually striking. And forget cheap plastic affairs that get tossed in the drawer. This one is something you'll actually want to use and show off. Let's face it, nobody buys a fancy DAC to spend some hours in cryptic menus. LAiV gets this. Power up the Harmony DAC and it's ready to rock. Seriously, it's that simple. 2 sleek buttons on the front, one for power, the other will be unlocking a no-nonsense menu. Want more control? That's where the big dial comes in, and of course the included remote control puts the whole show in the palm of your hand if you prefer. Now flip this beauty around and you'll get a USB Type-B, coaxial, optical, and the real prize, I2S input for the purest signal your source can offer. Bluetooth? Not here, my friends. This is high-end audio, not your average Bluetooth speaker. Rounding things out are those classic RCA and XLR outputs. ready to pair with your favorite integrated preamplifier or headphone amplifier of your choice. With a screwdriver in my hand, I cracked open the Harmony DAC, and with custom-built R2R ladder DACs, no two units are ever truly identical. It's a refreshing change from the monotony of those mass-produced, chip-based Delta Sigma oversampling DACs. With those, you feel that if you've seen one, you've seen them all. But with the Harmony DAC, every stage felt like a new discovery. The signal path is very easy to follow, starting with the voltage selector, then with an ultra-low noise audio-grade linear transformer, then DC input stage, DC output stage follows, with a serious filtering and regulation stage. Then you see the analog output stage and those glorious, fully discrete R2R ladder networks gleaming in a gold-like metallic enclosure. Sure, there's the expected digital receiver nested alongside an ARM CPU and Altera Cyclone FPGA infused with custom code. We have dual Crystec femtosecond clocks that I saw many times by now in much pricier converters. The filtering stage uses lots of audio-grade Rubicon caps, and 4 audio node Casei bipolar caps can be spotted on the output stage board. Since we have 5 separated boards, servicing the unit becomes much easier, which is an amazing design decision. For those unfamiliar with the magic of R2R ladder DACs, you should know that those resistor ladders are basically the heart of the operation, where the cold precision of digital data transforms into the warmth of analog sound waves. LAiV handpicks every resistors, and the ones that are not reaching their precision standards of 0.05% are being discarded. Is it tedious? Absolutely, but is it vital to achieve the very best performance that the very best DACs can offer? Without a doubt. After trying and after opening up 10s or maybe even close to 100 DACs, I can honestly say that everything that I saw in and out should not be present in a DAC that costs $2,700 US. It looks much more expensive inside and out. That makes me quite excited about this unit. I've been using it in my big rig for about a month and also in my headphone setup, so I can better understand all its qualities, and I believe it's the right time to hit some eardrums. My journey through the world of R2R ladder DACs has taught me to temper expectations. All those affordable models are basically seducing you with plenty of warmth, with sweetness, with smoothness, but those are trading resolution and transparency with a musical hug. And that's understandable because true high-fidelity R2R DACs is a monumental task to make. Custom FPGAs, hand-selected resistors, beefy output stages. That's why your audiophile legends, your Rocknas, your MSBs exist today in a very rarefied price bracket. They chase absolute truth and all the honesty above all else. Even that Rockna wave light adds a hint of warmth and a little bit of musicality compared to the brutally honest nature of the Wave Dream signature. All those budget-friendly R2R designs like Musician Draco, like Denafrips Aries, they are aiming to infuse a little bit of smoothness, of lushness, sacrificing some resolution for that easy listening appeal. It's a trade-off many audiophiles are more than happy to make, and I certainly understand why. Yet something about the Harmony DAC simply defiled my expectations. Even without any kind of burn-in, I simply connected it and started listening to music. The very first thing that struck me was actually transparency. It was pushing a sonic level of information that was actually attainable with higher priced R2R ladder DACs. It wasn't creating a hazy dream, but a very specific moment in time and space that defiled my notions of what a DAC at this price should be capable of. Then it hit me, the sheer resolution of this thing. I tried some of the tracks that I know for a lifetime, and it was providing all those small intricacies, all those micro nuances, details, call them as you want. It wasn't exactly on the same level with my reference DACs, but hey, it wasn't that far off. So it was not really altering the frequency response. I observed that it was not trying to lie me beautifully. It was not infusing, more energy anywhere. in the frequency response. It was pure information delivered with stunning clarity. And remember that a DAC's job isn't to flatter, but to calculate with precision of a master mathematician. Remember those room-filling moments that I have with some of the best DACs that I have tried at this place? The LAiV Dream Signature, the Denafrips Terminator Plus, the Musician, Taurus, that provided that out-of-head experience via headphones and also an amazing soundstage, depth and note separation. Well, this little guy, the Harmony DAC, that is basically 3 times the size of those units, is almost on the same level with those amazing sounding Art Wallet DACs, especially if I'm using that I2S input. I know it's a controversial topic. I do not do measurements, but for me, for my ears, it sounds slightly better via I2S connection. It's slightly bigger, it's slightly airier, it's tighter sounding, and it's more focused sounding at the same time. Even more shocking was its handling of difficult material. All that digital glare, all that harshness, simply forget about that. It's simply a bad dream on the Harmony DAC. Just crank the volume, push those demanding tracks, and this little DAC will be breathing easily. Harshness will be transforming into complex overtones, and delicate shimmers will be gaining life and texture. The Harmony doesn't try to mask anything, it simply translates the digital signal with atomic accuracy. Moving on to dynamics and transient response, even without any kind of burn-in, just fresh out of the box, I was already bobbing my head and tapping my foot. Sure, it didn't have really the same physicality, the same sheer power and impact that LAiV Dream Signature is providing, but hey, we have a much smaller output stage, a more affordable price point, and it's really hard beating the very best DACs out there. However, 150 hours later, it was transformed, it was revitalized, especially the low end. Not only it was punching harder and it was cutting deeper, the bass, but it was actually more in control, so the quality of the bass improved quite a lot. Honestly, at this price point, I don't know an Artwire ladder DAC that can compete in terms of dynamics and, you know, sheer joy and impact. Denafrips Venus, too polite. Musician Aquarius, it wasn't providing the same sonic impact that the Harmony does. The only unit that I believe is a little bit punchier sounding, a little bit more dynamic, is actually the Wave Light. That's a hair snappier sounding, but that's splitting hairs when we're dealing with this level of performance. Overall, I believe that the Harmony DAC is not just winning against its competition, but it dominates. There is more resolution, there is more dynamics, more meat on the bone, more oomph, more everything. You get it. And the lesser DACs, I believe those are basically pale imitations of what the music should sound like. Those are sounding like a recording, and the Harmony DAC is sounding like the band is here with me right now. And after getting spoiled with Harmony's visceral performance, it's almost painful going back to sub $1,000 DACs. They just don't have the same impact or the same ability to make the music feel real, alive and transformative. Moving on to soundstage and imaging, let me paint you a picture. When listening to an entry-level DAC connected to an entry-level headphone amplifier and closed-back headphones, the size of the soundstage would be really small, like the size of a tennis ball. Now moving to a mid-fi DAC that has more separation, that would be already a volleyball-sized soundstage, so the sound will still be inside my head, but I could easily focus on a few things. Moving on to an outstanding Gustard or topping DAC, then the sound would be the size of a basketball. So finally the sounds are now escaping your head and you can focus on a lot more things. This one is juggling a giant yoga ball. It's that kind of leap in terms of soundstage. And suddenly my room is replaced when listening to loudspeakers, for example, by a big concert hall, by a studio recording, by an old smoky jazz club. So it really depends on the music that is playing. This one is making the sound bigger or smaller, and I personally like that effect. Even my Chord Electronics LAiV, that is considerably more pricier, doesn't have such an amazing holography and soundstage. It can be, but it needs some additional help, like a chord aim scaler, like a linear power supply to sound, 3D, holographic, but this one does it by default without any kind of additional units. Just plug in a decent streamer and hold on tight, because your imagination will be doing the rest. Moving on to resolution and transparency, they say that art-wire ladder DACs and resolution are like oil and water, never destined to be together. And that is actually quite true. All those affordable art-wire DACs cannot provide you lots of information, and just pair it with an L-cheapo tube amplifier and you'll get this hazy, smoky type of performance, not an X-ray view over your music. Now, I must confess that I kind of like having a higher transparency and resolution than usual. This is what I'm chasing basically my whole life. It's a madness that sends me chasing expensive gear, only to realize that the search is never ending. Now, imagine that this madman of yours is also into lushness of tubes and also into the texture and the timbre of art-wire ladder DAC. So I like to hear it all. I like to hear an amazing resolution, transparency, but also to sound smooth, easygoing, but also textured and very real. And that's what I'm getting with the Harmony DAC in a few words. This one is not trying to add plenty of energy, extra energy in the mid-range, in the bass, in the treble. It leaves basically unchanged all that regions, but it makes my music very resolving, very clean. I can focus on anything, and most importantly, everything is not sounding lush or warm or sweet, but it sounds real and natural. Sure, LAiV is not giving away all its secrets with tightly closed art-wire modules, and that's good for them because AliExpress clone factories don't deserve a free pass. But the results are speaking for themselves, and the Harmony DAC delivers a surprising dose of resolution. The music just snaps into focus, gaining depth and clarity. There is just one drawback that I see with this unit. It's not a feature-packed jack of all trades. So it doesn't have a preamp functionality, it doesn't have a volume control. However, it does one thing exceptionally well, converting a digital signal into its purest analog incarnation. Think of it as a precision tool rather than a multi-tool that does everything half decently. Of course, this approach requires a little more thought when assembling a system. Hooking the Harmony DAC to a mediocre streamer or entry-level amplifier won't unlock its true potential. You will need a high-quality streamer followed by a top-notch integrated amp or a dedicated preamp power amp combo if you crave ultimate control over every nuance. This might be less convenient than an all-in-one box, but the reward is a sonic purity that simply cannot be faked. And hey, half the fun of being an audiophile is in the tinkering, right? Plus, LAiV's commitment to building a whole ecosystem around the Harmony DAC, like the upcoming HP2A headphone amplifier / preamplifier, those gallium nitride FET monoblocks, that's music to my ears. Wrapping up, let's lay the truth on the table. For $2,700 we are getting an outstanding unboxing experience, a sleek designed machine with precision, an equally impressive remote control. We also get high quality components and an impeccable construction. We get a hardware-based oversampling for PCB material and the good old non-oversampling mode. We get a true balanced art-wire ladder DAC, a massive and informative display, free shipping, taxes and custom duties baked into the price, plus a 3-year warranty. Let's be brutally honest, how many audio manufacturers are providing you half of these at twice the price of Harmony DAC? Exactly, a resounding zero. I have specifically avoided direct comparisons throughout this review, and the fact that I never mentioned a single DAC below $3,000 already speaks volumes about its performance. I've gushed, I've raved, I've made bold claims, but every word comes from a place of genuine excitement for the potential this represents. This isn't just about recommending a great product, it's advocating for a future where quality and customer focus are the norms, not the exception. If you want to know a lot more about this one, about the frequency response, about how it sounds in a head-fi setup, in a stereo setup, and just a lot more sound impressions, then please check out my written review that I left below, which contains on average about 4 times the information of this video. That's all for now, and I'll see you very, very soon. Cheers!